Today I want to talk about the reality of gun control in 2021 and the fear on GunTube that continues to captivate much of the Second Amendment audience. It's the same psychological manipulation that the big corporate media outlets use. It's fear, and fear drives ratings. On YouTube, it creates more comments, and more comments are rewarded in the algorithm with more views and more likes, which leads to more views and more likes. Now, when I make a legislative update video, there's a reason behind it. And typically, I also mention in the video that it's unlikely to pass in its current iteration. I know that my past videos have had a direct impact on state-level legislation and certain bills not passing. It's really important that we continue to focus and watch these bills and the people that file them. But we also have to understand that the people who often file these bills are sacrificial lambs in a sense. They often file these bills and they're usually not filed by the smartest people in that political party. Some of those individuals are convinced that Guam could possibly flip over if too many troops were stationed on that island. That's one such example. Now I say that because it's important, as I said, to watch what's going on without getting suckered in to panic buying created by this type of content. As I said, I focus on the reality that these bills are unlikely to pass in their current iterations. However, certain elements or parts of these bills could be taken and tacked onto something else or removed from these bills to make them a little more palatable and more likely to pass. Though it's unlikely because Democrats really don't want to vote on more gun control because they know they'll be taken to the political cleaners come primary season. That's why they are relying on Manchin and the filibuster to stay in place, because it continues to allow them to keep their seats and gain more power. Otherwise, the people would go to the polls en masse because firearm owners are without a doubt the most rabid group of voters. They are well aware of this. As it sits right now, the panic buying has only doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down over the past several days. Having spoken to a few FFLs, it's not getting better. Now, I stopped at Bass Pro. You undoubtedly likely saw that video. And it's not going to improve. Now, I talked to one of the guys there about some of the state-level checks that they do in Colorado. Now, they run their process through CBI. That process, that state-level investigation, is so backed up right now, you're looking at about a week to pick up your firearm. Unlike the NICS system, they are not legislatively mandated to do their job within 3 days. It's important that people focus on state-level issues like this because right now, it's essentially an imposed waiting period. And if they pull investigators away from doing this job, the wait could grow from 5 to 20 to 6 months. Why not, right? So my point is there are bigger fish to fry here in this battle to preserve the Second Amendment. Additionally, much of the money wasted, panic buying tens of thousands of rounds of ammunition that you're never going to shoot, that you likely really didn't need, but you were convinced by media and social media that you needed to buy more ammo, you could have spent a lot of that money on groups like GOA and FPC and the litigation that they are constantly and consistently working on, the things that actually advance the Second Amendment in the courts. That's one of our biggest ways to advance the Second Amendment is the courts. And if we don't have money for lawyers or court filing fees, if we aren't able to go to Congress and say, look, GOA has grown 500% in the past 6 months. We should be able to say that. Currently, I believe the last count I know of offhand, and it's kind of an old count, there were 3 million GOA members, making it the second largest pro-2A organization in the country. There is no reason why GOA shouldn't have 40 or 50 million members right now. The membership fees are cheap for most of these organizations. Same with FPC. I think theirs is like $25 a year. I just joined them. And I'm a proud GOA Life member. I will likely become an FPC member, life member that is, this year as well. You have to put your money into the real battles. And yes, it's important to buy firearms and buy parts and buy ammunition, and I have done that a little bit lately, but to a much lower level than I had previously because the prices are grossly inflated right now. So I'm not shooting very much either because ammunition is through the roof. I'm not going to shoot what I can't replace at the moment. I know most of us stick to that mentality. Anyway, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please share this video with your 2A friends so they understand the importance of joining these pro-2A organizations. So we can go before Congress, go before these legislative bodies, when we get to a position where we can go back and testify in person in front of these committees, when we can go meet with our Congress people in person and ask them why they would vote a certain way. Begin asking those tough questions. Why will you vote this way? How will you vote? We need to begin actively targeting these Congress people to get them to vote in a manner that will allow them to maintain power, which is to preserve and fight to expand and restore the Second Amendment to its original integrity. Make sure to find me on Patreon if you're inclined. I'll be on Bitchute as well, and UGETube. Thanks for watching.